right, here we are. It is December 27th at 5 o'clock, 5:30 actually. I'm going to try to do some sanding here and here. Remember, I used that resin, fiberglass resin on this corner. I'm gonna try to get this ready, and then maybe even sand the front here with that decal. And I'm gonna try to sand the head because I want to see if I can paint this tomorrow. Down below here, I'll put the weather where you can see what the weather's gonna be like here in Houston the next 2 days. Supposedly a little rain, chance of rain tomorrow, maybe 30%, but most of the time that usually means it's not going to rain or it just sprinkles a little and moves on. So let's see if this will peel off. I'm going to get new stickers, but I still would like to see if this would peel off in one piece. This and this. To be honest, I would probably, or this right here, I'd probably consider leaving it. Yeah, I mean, I almost really could, to be honest. Or I could just spray it with like a one stage paint, and just paint it once over, and just leave that and let it just dry. But I like having the clear over it. It protects the paint so much better. So that's what I'm gonna do. Not bad. That angle, not bad. Come around here. Take a look. Not bad. I may do a little by hand just to soften that a little bit. Some of those scratches, get those a little nicer, but I mean, that corner is back. Because I'm fixing to go ahead and sand this right here. I just had to look at it before I sand it, because I'm not going to show it. I'm going to sand it, and then I'm going to have to fix this here. I'm going to have to put a piece of wood in there, wood glue it, and then I'll have to Bondo it. All right, as you can see, it's gotten dark out here. See the moon up there. Hey, it's a little moon. Okay, so, well, I don't have any dowels on hand, and I want to get this done tonight. So what do you use? You use whatever wood you have available, and I've got popsicle sticks. So that's what I'm going to use. I'm going to cut these off and fill this in with popsicle sticks and wood glue, and then I'll Bondo over that, and then that'll take care of it. And then of course I'll do the same thing over here on that one. I'm also going to go in here and Bondo this right here, this little lip, and some of this just to kind of fill that in, because I'm going to touch up paint anything I need to match, so that with this decal on there and then that touched up, I can put just the metal leg protector in the leg, and I think that's going to all blend in beautifully. So let me get these popsicle sticks in here and I'll show you what we got. Okay, I put them in there, and I put a pencil mark where I needed to cut them, and nothing more fun than having them have jokes on there. So there'll be part of a joke inside of that game forever. How interesting. So I'll cut those and we'll glue those in along with some other ones next to it. Sometimes you just got to use what you got, and that's what I did. Okay, there's my popsicle sticks. I got them tight enough where I had to wedge them into place. This side over here, I actually had to hammer it down good to get it through there. But there they are. Come around here. There we are. Got those wedged in really nice. Give that about 30 minutes to harden, then I can go in here and get a blade, a saw, and just cut those off flat. Look. Pretty flat. Nothing, a tiny little way for a Bondo fix up. Solid as a rock. Solid as wood. All right, now that I'm ready to take this downstairs and work on it, I'm gonna go ahead and get this out of here in one piece, hopefully get the knocker out, the protective covering over the holes there. And then just anything that has to come out, but anything that can stay is gonna stay. Let's get her done. All right, I've got it out of there. Here's our stickers. They're always hiding underneath. Think of that. July 21st, 94. Isn't that cool? And look how clean and beautiful all that is in there. Man, I'm just not used to seeing heads and stuff this clean when I'm restoring stuff, so that's pretty freaking cool. So here's the board all that completely out, and as you can see, thing looks great. So I ain't touching none of that because this game worked 100%. More or less, I had one little tiny issue, but otherwise it worked 100%. So we're not gonna go messing with it. We're gonna leave it alone. So anyway, that's the plan. Let's get this head down there and let's get working on it before it gets too late. All right, here we go. Went ahead and bondoed her up. I was not planning on doing this much work to this thing, but man, it's hard not to when you kind of get going, and I feel like I'm not giving my full effort even though it was a pretty good example of a Williams cabinet. Man, I don't know. I just couldn't do it. All right, well, end of day. You can see I ended up sanding and bondoing a lot more than I planned, but all's well that ends well. I did have to go back and add more Bondo, so I'm gonna go back and re-sand it again and then get it all smooth. In fact, I never even got the glue off the side that I used the heat gun on. Went ahead and Bondoed around the front, kind of get hopefully some of that wood grain gone. But like I say, it don't have to be perfect, so I think that's gonna work out just fine. All right, here's the World Cup soccer head. Like I say, I did the facing here with Bondo to try to get the grain out, so it'll just look nicer when it's a finished thing. Because it's hard to get the grain. You can't just sand it. That grain doesn't go away with sanding. You have to fill it with something. And if you ever watch any of Hep's videos when he's doing the heads, you'll see that he bondos that whole thing, and that's why. And of course that's where I got the idea. So thank you, Chris, for teaching us how to do this stuff. So I'm gonna tape off, like right here where that rail is. I'm gonna tape this off. I'm only gonna spray this. All this will be taped off and protected. I'm gonna spray it, go up to here, tape up to here, and then over and down. And the reason being is that I want to keep this natural on the inside. Not because I'm being lazy or not because I don't want to go all out, because honestly, I'd have to pull all this ground strap up and reapply it and everything else. But the reason I'm doing it is because look at the sticker here. 07, 21, 94. The stickers, everything's so clean and good. I want to keep it. I want to keep it like that. I think that's kind of neat to me. So we're going to keep that. And so we're going to come over here. I'll just look at the side here and let me zoom in. Sorry, the sun's going to hit us just right, but I want you to look here. The corners are crisp. The top looks good. Now the top's going to be painted with the black Rust-Oleum. It's got a primer and paint in one. I'm gonna do about 2 or 3 coats of that, and then I'm gonna do the clear coating over it with the automotive clear, and it's gonna look beautiful. This is gonna get the same treatment, but I want you to notice something. I'm gonna come around here and maybe you can see it just as good or better. Look right here. See this compared to, now let's go up, compare where the light is. Now see, I've got Bondo over that, and that's actually smooth. It may not look like it, but it is, except for maybe right there. But look right here. Look at the pits in that. That's from when I was doing that experiment between sanding the decal off and doing the heat gun to take it off. As I was stripping, the heat gun overheated, so I started pulling down on the sticker, on the decal. And when I did, the decal came off, but it took wood fibers with it. And so even after sanding this with 40 grit to get it off, 60, 80, 120, 220, 320, that's what I'm left with. And so that's going to have a little Bondo added to it before I can actually paint this today. So that's one where you don't pull those stickers off, because that's why it makes more work later. It's too bad if I just been patient and waited on my heat gun, I wouldn't be having to add Bondo and wasting 30 minutes of time. Here's the other side with it's going to have decal, but I'm still going to paint it and clear it. But I'm going to sand, but then I'll put the decal on it. But look, see, this had an edge here. and I bonded it the first time, and it still splintered, so I bonded it the second time, and that took care of it. I need to punch that out of there. That's where a screw hole goes. So yeah, so there's that. So that's the head of the World Cup Soccer. All right, here's the World Cup Soccer cabinet. Remember, I'm keeping the decals here, so I've got them all protected. So I'm going to paint this. I'm going to go right with the black paint, the Rust-Oleum. Paint this sucker up after I sand this, of course. And then I'm going to do the automotive clear, and that'll take care of this. Then I'll put the silk screening back. All this is staying as is. Come to the front. Again, reminder, you can see where I fixed those dowels with my popsicle sticks. There you go. And so I've already put a little layer of primer on it. I just need to kind of scuff it, and then that's ready to paint. So the lower cabinet here is definitely getting painted today, for sure. And so, all right, I sanded down that Bondo from where that grain was torn with the sticker. Everything's now nice and smooth, and that should all hide it, especially after I paint this here. So I'm gonna get this one ready to go. Sorry for the ugly tape job, but it's an effective tape job, so I'll take it. Hey, it's amateur style, what can I say? All right, here's World Cup Soccer head, finished painting for tonight. All I gotta do left is scuff that and clear the top and the back, and then actually I'll clear this too, but I mean, these are gonna be where decals are. All this up here looks very nice. As I get this cleared, man, it's gonna look awesome. I got all the grain out of those, out of the edges. Thank you, Chris from HEP, for teaching me how to do that. Of course, here's this one, same thing. World Cup Soccer body, just need to clear this up here and here. And then the front will just be a decal, so that'll be easy. I'll put some clear and then put the decal. I didn't get to this one at all. I kept thinking I was gonna get around to doing some stuff on it today, but I didn't, but I've got all weekend to work on it. So now that I busted it free from where it was sitting, I'll be able to go ahead and start working on it, because man, that'd be just another thing out of the way while I'm already doing all this stuff. I'll just kind of do it all at once. I think that's nice and efficient. So that's it for tonight, for the most part. I'm gonna clean up, and then we're gonna do our traditional prime rib roast for Christmas Day, and with the family, have a little some baked potatoes, maybe some pie of some type, and that'll be it. So there we go. Good night, guys. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Hey guys, all right, it is Saturday, December 3rd. How you like that? At about, let's see, what time is it? 10:30. I'm gonna get out here. The day is beautiful. The weather's supposed to be about 70 or so, 74, I think is the high today. So I'm fixing to get ready and get ready to do some clear coating. I'm gonna do it right out here in the open, because you know what? It's beautiful, humidity's low today. It's clear skies, and there is almost zero wind. So chances of getting much trash in it are really small. I'll have maybe a little, but it won't be much. It won't be enough to matter, especially if I sand it and buff it and stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to clear coat. Exciting stuff. I'm looking forward to it. Let's get this day started, because my nephew's gonna be coming over either today or tomorrow, and I've got to spend a couple of hours putting away Christmas stuff and organizing and things like that. Plus, while I've got him here and I'm paying him to work, I'm gonna try to see if there's any other things I want to move around and do while I've got extra hands. So who knows what this weekend's gonna bring. I know I'm looking forward to it though. All right, first off, sorry for the background noise. That dude just cannot seem to stop washing his driveway over here. All right, let's take a look. I've got everything scuffed and ready for clear. All I gotta do is just wipe it down once with some Prep All, or All Prep, whichever. I can't remember the name. And then tack cloth it, and then I'm good to go, and I'll have all three of these cleared today. Well, I'm gonna come over here. I've got to put all my guns back together. As you can see, the last time I sprayed, I cleaned everything and then set it on here, and then like a dummy, didn't take the time to come back out and put everything together. So now I got to get all three of my guns back together before I can actually start spraying anything. So that's my next project. Let me get on that, and then we'll start hopefully spraying here pretty quick. All right, I'm got all my guns straightened out. Everything's all cleaned up. This is the gun I'm going to use, this Spectrum. It's from Harbor Freight. It's about 125 bucks. But I've had really good luck with the spraying this clear. Sprays it really good, I think. So that's what I'm going to keep using until I decide to upgrade one day. This one over here is the one I can use for like spraying any kind of like things that have pearl or any kind of flakes or anything like that. Because it goes up to a 2.2 millimeter tip. So, and of course, here's my airbrush. I had it all apart too. And here's a little mini one for doing touch-up stuff as well. So, at any rate, everything's all back together. And of course, they're still over there working, being loud as can be with that thing. Which normally I wouldn't care too much, except for when I'm trying to film, of course. So, we'll see how it goes. See how those corners all look nice and sharp? That's what you're looking for. Here's that corner I repaired. It's probably a hint high. I could have sanded that a little flatter, but I always worry about cutting it under, so I'll take that. Nobody's gonna ever notice. So anywho, let me get this out. I'm gonna start getting out the clear and getting ready to spray these suckers. All right, I got one coat of clear down. I'm gonna do 2 more before it's over with here, but that's just to give you an idea. That's what we're starting with. I go by fast because I got lots to do here. I got cooking inside going on while I'm doing this as well. So we'll see. Let's see how it turns out. All right, more construction noise. Great. Mike's gone. I would have recorded more with Mike here, but we had so much fun hanging out, I forgot to hit record as much. But you can see all this is cleared. It's all done. It's obviously got some grain in there, but we're not worried about that. It's not the end of the world. It won't matter for the most part for what we're going to be doing. So I'm excited to be able to have this thing ready to be decaled pretty soon and put this lower cabinet all back together. Let me show you all the heads I brought in here. And they're looking good. Totan head and the head for World Cup. Yep, they're gonna do the job, my friend. Very nice. So very exciting.